Hi there, lovely stitchers. How are we all? So I'm kind of doing this video vloggy kind of thing just because I know that I've not been on here for a few days, and I don't know whether it's I think it's the losing your kind of sojo kind of situation. I've not lost my sojo at all, but I then get this kind of, no one wants to see, no one wants to listen to me, no one wants to listen to what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. And then I just came across a video on YouTube, and it was a guy chatting about something called grandpa style or grandma style vlogs. And I thought to myself, I've watched this little 10-minute video, and I was thinking, well, yeah, that's my kind of style, that style of, well, let's have a chat, let's have a little talk about whatever it is while I'm stitching. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, you know, do I actually need to be demonstrating? Do I need to be showing you what I'm doing? Do I need to be teaching you something? I don't know. I'm kind of like struggling with my identity on YouTube, and it's making me second guess myself, or think about, well, why am I doing this? Who am I? And then people come up to you with the kindest will in the world, I'm sure, and tell you where you're going wrong, or what they think that I should do. And I go away and I take this all on board, and I'm then thinking to myself, hang on a minute, are you my demographic? I mean, I'm using that big word, demographic. Are you my person? What is it that you're watching my YouTube channel for? And I began to think about this particular person who kind of wasn't criticising, but said to me, I wasn't quite sure what was going on in the video. And so I took that away, and it kind of sat in a funny space with me. I was beginning, and then I was thinking, oh, right, so if that person doesn't know what's going on in the video, what about all the other people that have been watching these videos, and do they know, what? And then I sort of began to think to myself, well, actually, Rach, people do know what's going on in your videos, because those people that are watching are making that something and then showing it to me in private Facebook group. So I then began to think, well, don't worry about what that person's saying. They don't understand it. That's absolutely fine. They aren't here to stitch. They've obviously seen as a friend of mine, they are a friend of mine, and thought, oh, I'm going to go and have a little nosy into Rachel's videos, and have no interest in the stitching or the, whatever it is I'm talking about, and can't. So that moment of, although that 2 days, I'm going to say 2 days of angst about, why are my videos, why are they not, these are, I'm obviously rubbish, I'm this, I'm that and the other. And then the epiphany of thinking, well, actually, no, that's just not your person. So I thought, well, grandma style is my kind of style. I'm not a grandma, I have to say, and those of you who've been around know I'm not. But it's the meander of the chat, isn't it? It's the going on about starting off on one thing and going off on a tangent onto another thing. A little bit like Billy Connolly's jokes. if you know, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing where you start off at A and go round C, D, E, F, G and get back to B. So that's the kind of style. And they were explaining this in this little video, and I thought to myself, you know what, you've got it bang on, because that's how we are, isn't it? As stitchers, and as we kind of get into that group of stitching and getting together, we're all chatting about something, and then somebody will mention something and you go off on that tangent, and then you might come back to what you were talking about half an hour ago. And I think that that is our style, our kind of way that we work as stitchy kind of friends. Well, that's in my little opinion. It's, you know, it's my, and it is my own and honest opinion of, we might be talking about something, a conversation comes in and we're not quite comfortable with that conversation, so we kind of tune out to that conversation and go into ourselves, and then come back into the conversation when it's a conversation that we want to speak about or we're interested in, because we're not in a group of, say, 10 ladies that I will have in a workshop. Not everybody can click with everybody, not everybody can talk to that person down the other end of the table. You don't always get that situation, do you? And I'm sure you've been in workshops where you've only spoken to the people either side of you, and I'm guilty of that, not including everybody possibly in my workshops. I include everybody, but you know, we're not shouting across the table to one another, are we? We're not in school, we're not in primary school, we're adults, and we need to have a little bit of structure in what we're learning. So yeah, it is I don't know where I was going with this, typical. So yeah, I was sort of saying, I'm not going to worry about whether or not that person doesn't like what I'm saying, or doesn't like what I'm doing, or doesn't understand, or whatever. I'm no longer in a classroom situation where I've got to be, you know, kind of, well, monitored, by want of another word, or Ofsted are coming, or whatever. I don't need to do that. I can be myself. I can be whoever I want to be. But the person did say to me, and I took this as a huge compliment actually, they said, I watched a few and I kind of got that some of them were earlier videos, and then some of them were later on in your video life cycle. And he says, and your personality is really starting to shine through now. He said, and you should really carry it on, because you are such a lovely, wonderful person. I was like, ooh, this is great. But yeah, so, you know, there's always that up and down of whatever somebody said to you. So I kind of went back into the conversation and took the positives from it. That's what I'm trying to say is, yeah, not everybody's your person. Not everybody's going to come on here and click away and put the thumbs up and do all this and whatever, even though I want you to. It's kind of like Marmite. I'm Marmite, you know. I've got my cup of hot chocolate. Because I'm a tea belly, and I love my tea. But I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight, and I'm not a huge chocolate fan. You know, I wouldn't sit. No, I do. If I start, I can't stop. I've got no off button, so I try not to have it. But a little hot chocolate just takes the edge off my wanting some chocolate or wanting something sweet, and I'm sure you guys out there can relate. So I'm just trying to kind of do that. Anyway, off on a tangent again. I've not stitched a stitch. I thought, oh, come on, I'll do a bit of stitching, because I've got a new project on the go, which hopefully you'll all see by the end of February, she says. It is quite hard to kind of motivate myself to do a new project and think, will this be successful? Will this be part of my ongoing, you know, empire? You know, will I be able to get this out as a workshop, get this out as a oh, that's a pretty little stitch. Oh, do you know the ones that you do that are kind of a little bit, a little bit of a, I kind of start something and then, I'm going to show you the stitch. It's kind of like a bullion, but I've not come over and back on myself, just carried on going. So I'm going to have another go at that. How did I do it? So, did I go up there? I did go up there. Let me just concentrate 1 minute. And I came back like I was doing a bullion. And then I wrapped it like a bullion. But I didn't come back on myself. I carried on up to the stitch. No, that's not what I did, is it? I'll do that as a bullion and then let's try again. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to myself. Now, what on earth did I do? Anyway, I might have to have a little relook at that. I can't multitask, obviously. Can't stitch and so come up. Come back down. Come up. Yeah, that's what I did. Over there. Aha. Yeah, so I know what I've done. I know what I've done. It's quite sweet, that is. Right. So obviously it will be a stitch. I've not invented a new stitch for sure. Even though I think I might have. No, I haven't. Oh dear. So yeah, I've completely forgotten what I was talking about, but oh, it's just sort of other people, wasn't it? Having an opinion on what's right for you, what's wrong for you, and you know, in Mel Robbins' famous words, let them, and yeah, it's kind of a revelation when you actually have that thought process, when you sort of go back on it. I was quite proud of the fact that I thought, do you know what? Sod it. Let them think like that. Let them do whatever and have their opinion, because you know what? It's not going to stop me enjoying myself on here. I love the interaction with people. I love that I've inspired people to go away and do whatever it is they've done, you know, the scroll or even down to tidying up your workspace. I think I've had 4 or 5 messages saying, you know, I've been and tidied up, I've had a tidy up in my room and I'm done this and I've done this, and you know, it's really good kind of. But that's how we get inspired, isn't it? It's by seeing somebody else having so much satisfaction on it, of doing what they've done. So, yeah. Anyway, waffling. My tongue out. What's my tongue out? You might be interested to know that my room is staying quite tidy. Yeah, I've got stuff out because I'm stitching at the minute. I'm trying to do a new pattern, a new thing. So yeah, it is work in progress. I'm not going to be, when you create, you are messy. It's what it happens. It's not you know, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it anymore and get myself down. I still feel like I've got this wrong now. Oh. I'm doing kind of, yeah, I've managed to do 2 of these stitches, but the rest have just turned back into bullion knots because I can't remember what I've done. That's because I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, so let's talk about the next project. It came to me today, and I thought I'm going to do this as a project. I feel like it can only be a weekly project, or bi-weekly. I don't know. I don't want to commit to that. I'm going to do this every single day. I'm going to do this every single week on Wednesdays or whatever. But I kind of been... Heather got me a moon journal diary. Moon journal diary. Moon journal. And I've kind of been writing in it what I'm noticing. Because I once read a book called The Art of Noticing. I can't remember the author, doesn't matter, you can Google it. And it really resonated with me that I, at the time, was wandering around in a complete daze of not looking at things, just going about my business, head down, getting on with it. And this was a kind of time in my life where I was a little bit stressed out. I was in the process of getting a divorce. I was incredibly lonely. I felt that, you know, I'd failed at life in general. You know, I'd failed at being a wife. I'd failed at being whatever, this perfect person that someone's going to love for the rest of their life. And that, but since, you know, it's not me. So yeah, I was in that kind of zone of just do, and go to work, come back, go to work, come back, and that was it. And I read this book called The Art of Noticing, and this book was recommended to me by an art teacher, an online art teacher during COVID. A wonderful lady. She, you know, and she really helped me kind of start to notice things again and start to be a little bit more free in what I was wanting to achieve. So anyway, back to kind of the project. I've been noting things down in this little book. Things that I know that are kind of in my vicinity. Not things in the wider world. I'm talking about the here and the now, and you know, in my garden, on my walk, on my drive to and from somewhere. That kind of thing. Things that I'm noticing now. And I kind of I've started to become a twitcher. If you don't know what a twitcher is, bird watching. I'm not bird watching, but I've got a bird feeding station, and I've been feeding, because it's been snowing and it's been frosty and it's been frozen. I've been putting out bits of food for the birds, and since the beginning of well, at first I thought no little birdies are coming to visit this feeding station. I wonder why. And then I sort of did a little bit of research. Well, they're going to have to get time to come and know that it's always there, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the big, we've got a big bunch, what do they call them? A murder of crows opposite in the trees, you know, and they can be quite bullying on the back of the, for the bird feeding station. Also got 3 or 4 magpies. They're big bullies as well. And the wood pigeons who will come and just gobble and gobble and gobble. And also we've got Gilbert, haven't we, the squirrel? Well, Gilbert 1, 2 and 3. There's 3 of them. so you know, that's the kind of, they're my core visitors. But over time, I started to notice, and the first thing I noticed was obviously the little robins. So there's 2 visit. So I've noticed them and their little bits of behaviour. And then the blue tits, they started to come in as well. Anyway, I've written it all down, and then this, I kind of started looking around at what the collective nouns were for things were. So I had a lot of goldfinches. There must have been 10 goldfinches all swarming. And I thought, oh, what's a collective noun for goldfinch? A charm of goldfinches. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, moving on, because I'm, you know, waffling. What day was it? I was so excited. I'd seen a little wren. We've always got a little Jenny wren. She's bobbing around in the undergrowth and shouldn't really go on the feeding station. She likes to go in the long grass and have a little look at what she can find there. And then she'll get like a little grub of some sort. And I say she might, but I'm calling her Jenny wren. And she bashes it about on the side of a plant pot or something. I don't know what she's doing, stunning it. And then eats it. But it's interesting little, watching the little ways and noticing. So I was then very excited. What day was it? I'm going to look. Cheeky squirrel. It was the Monday the 15th of January. 8 beautiful long-tailed tits visited today. Collective noun is Valerie or Zephyr. I was that excited. I don't think I've ever seen a long-tailed tit in my whole lifetime. So then I thought, oh, well, what other great tits, blue tits, coal tits, long-tailed tits, pied wagtails coming in. Today, I stood at the kitchen window and I was just staring out into, you know, onto the garden. Well, not staring, just looking at the starlings were raiding. Then along comes the robin and along comes all these other little things. I thought, wow, this is a little environment that I've just created. So the art of noticing, the art of observing. So let's get on to what I'm actually going to do. So what I thought I could do is, you know, those little observer books that you get. We could do a little observer kind of booklet or whatever. I don't know what form it's going to take, but I thought an observation of daily stuff, everyday, mundane, boring stuff that happens in your life. That is the kind of thing that we're not noticing it, are we? We're not noticing that, I don't know, what can I even think of? I can't. We're not noticing that the car's filthy. We're walking past it. You might, in passing, think, oh, car's filthy. But Then when you start to look, which I've been out and done, because not because I've been out and done looking at the car how dirty it is, I kind of walked past it, opened the gate and thought, oh, car's dirty, must go and get that cleaned. And then as I was coming back, I was like looking at all the patterns that was forming in the dirt, and the trickles of where it's, you know, rains fell on it and all that. And it was such a beautiful little pattern. I thought, interesting. Ice on top of the dustbin after days and days of being frosty overnight, getting warmer during the day, freezing again overnight. The ice formations, absolutely beautiful and incredible. And these things, I just thought to myself, actually, I want to kind of do a observational stitch. I've not worked out the format as of yet, but you know, it's percolating. I'm letting it percolate. I'm putting it out to the universe. I'm letting my kind of creative juices flow a little bit with it, and it's there. The idea has come towards me. It's there, and it's sitting and it's percolating. So let's think about it. I'm going to let you think about it and start to note down what you are seeing. The little things, like I say, the dirt on the car, the colour of the lichen, that kind of thing, cracks in the pavement, just those kind of wonky gatepost, wonky fence, creaking door, you know, those kind of daily mundane kind of things. That what kind of mug you like, what kind of, I don't know, shopping trolley you want to push. Do you know what I mean? Them blooming things that we just do. We just do it, don't we? We walk past it. I mean, when you're sitting at the traffic lights, have a little look round. Look at what Mrs. Miggins is carrying in her shopping bag. Look at what they're doing in the car next to you. You know, have they got the music on? Are they singing like a lark? It's just those little things, isn't it, of starting to notice what's going on around you. So, that said, I have waffled for nearly half an hour. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, 2 of which are a nice, let me show you, and then you can, and then I'll work it out, and 2 of them are kind of, you see, that one and that. I don't know what kind of stitch that is, but I'm going to try and recreate it a few more times, and then somebody will say, oh, it's a such and such stitch. I've not made it up, obviously. It is a kind of, it's like a, what would you call it? Back from my kind of pastry days and, you know, chefing days, we'd call it a composite dish, where it's made up of several different things, but to make one dish. So yeah, it might be that, a composite stitch. Maybe I should do a book on composite stitches. Who knows? Oh, Reggie just come running past. Don't know. So, on that note, on waffling notes and meandering along in a little dream, I'm going to go. I'm going to finish my hot chocolate. I'm going to do a couple more of those stitches. Find out maybe if they've got a name, and maybe do a little demo of it, a little one of my shorts. I'm looking for the mouse and I've realised that you're on there, aren't you? You're in front of me on the phone. So I'm going to say happy stitching, even though you probably aren't stitching, and I've not been stitching Waffle stitches. And thank you for your time. Thank you for watching to the end. If you're still here, do give me the thumbs up. And if you're new, have a little look at the other videos. I do some actual stitches, I promise. I don't always waffle about. And you know, think about subscribing, because it is free. It is free, and I'm doing exactly what my daughter tells me not to. Don't cram it all in at the end, Mum, saying do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. A million things that you've got to all do. So yeah, all I say is come back and have another visit. Bye bye.